In my previous life, my childhood sweetheart Lin Weiying and I knew and loved each other, naturally got married. But 3 years later, she despised me for being a freeloader and cheated with someone else. We became a resentful couple. After dying in a car accident during a street argument, we both reincarnated. In this new life, we tacitly chose to separate and never see each other again. We reunited at the comeback screening event of film Queen He Chin. By then, Lin Weiying had become a household name painter receiving widespread acclaim, now publicly dating popular singer Liu Sheng, a true double harvest of career and romance. Seeing me in such a wretched state, Lin Weiying mocked me viciously, saying I lived no better than a beast. But the very next second, the film Queen announced our wedding date. Lin Weiying completely lost her composure. After retouching images all night, I was utterly exhausted. I slept until dusk and only remembered He Chin's comeback press conference when waking groggily, rushing to the venue in haste. As a man, I never had the habit of styling myself daily. With time pressing, I rushed to the venue wearing a hoodie and cargo pants. The Fa Buhui was attended by elites, making my outfit glaringly out of place. Yet right then, I spotted Lin Weiying. She was arm in arm with popular singer Su Sheng, whose relationship with her had just been announced weeks prior. From afar, I heard the crowd fawning over them. Weiying's painting won another award? Amazing. Didn't a tycoon offer $50 million for your work recently? A painter and a singer. High school sweethearts too. This is straight out of a romance novel. A match made in heaven. Su Sheng announcing your relationship at his concert was so romantic. I heard you're getting engaged. You must invite me. Su Sheng held Lin Weiying's waist, smiling. Correct. Our Dinghuan ceremony will be at the end of this month. Lin Weiying leaned comfortably against Su Sheng's embrace, standing amidst the crowd and basking unapologetically in everyone's admiration. Having accepted my misfortune, I turned to leave, but Lin Weiying's sharp eyes caught sight of me. Li Heshu, what are you doing here? I pretended not to hear and kept walking with my head down, but Lin Weiying quickly strode forward to grab me. She and Su Sheng looked me up and down with sweeping gazes. It really is you, Li Heshu. How did you end up here? Her tone dripped with undisguised triumph and gleeful malice. Since I'd been recognized, I raised my head to meet their gazes directly. I had nothing to be ashamed of anyway. Long time no see, Lin Weiying. Su Sheng swirled his wine glass, eyes filled with disdain and contempt. Did you come to the wrong place? Our gatherings aren't for people dressed like you. Do you really think you belong here? Lin Weiying looked at me with utter scorn, her voice laced with disgust as she spat "You. It's been so many years, yet you haven't improved at all. Still as tacky and unkempt as ever. Are you so poor you can't even afford decent clothes?" Su Sheng chuckled under her breath and gave Lin Weiying a subtle pinch. "Ying, don't be harsh. People have different financial means. Look at Li Heshu's outfit. It practically screams corporate drudge. How could he possibly afford formal attire?" I had no desire to argue with them here and held back my temper. "May I leave now?" He Chin had asked me to meet her backstage. I refused to waste time on irrelevant people. "Wait, you haven't stated your purpose here." I found the interrogation amusing and replied coolly, "That's none of your business." No comment. Lin Weiying's smile froze. After pondering for a few seconds, she asked an absurd question. "You're not here to look for me, are you?" Growing more convinced of her own assumption, she warned with smug confidence. "We did date briefly in high school, but I was young and naive back then. Don't think you can stalk or investigate me just because we had a past. Who would have thought you'd still be pining after me after all this time?" She feigned a sigh of regret. "I know you must have seen the news about Sheng and I going public with our relationship. You couldn't handle it and followed me here, but please understand this isn't where you belong. I have Sheng now. I'm happy. Stop harassing me." Lin Weiying then clung to Su Sheng's arm, flashing me a triumphant look. Watching this affected, nauseating display of affection, I finally lost my composure. "Lin Weiying, you haven't changed a bit, still utterly self-absorbed. We've been separated for 8 years. Not once have we met in all this time. What makes you think I'd be here investigating you?" Lin Weiying paled, never expecting I'd expose her pretensions so publicly. Whispers began circulating among the onlookers. Is this man Lin Weiying's first love? At first glance, he does look exactly like the person in that painting. Exactly. Back then, Lin Weiying became famous nationwide through that portrait. Now we're seeing the real person. Su Sheng's smile froze momentarily, her eyes narrowing slightly, but she quickly regained composure. Smiling, she hugged Lin Weiying and explained to the crowd. "Everyone, let's not dwell on the past. Ying has long moved on. She's currently busy preparing for our engagement ceremony. In my previous life, Lin Weiying and I were childhood sweethearts who started dating in high school. She painted a portrait of me that won her the first prize in the national art competition that year. We progressed from school uniforms to wedding attire. After marriage, to support her artistic career, I abandoned my photography profession to become a full-time homemaker attending to her daily needs. Due to years of being consumed by household chores, I gradually became disconnected from society and lost the youthful vigor I once had. Lin Weiniying began to disdain my unkempt appearance and lack of charm. Lin Weiniying's career flourished as she attended elite cocktail parties daily. Photos of her intimately embracing other men frequently surfaced online. As her husband, I naturally couldn't endure this. Yet Lin Weiniying accused me of being petty-minded, claiming I was a freeloader throwing tantrums at home. It wasn't until one day when I received intimate photos of the two sent by Su Sheng. In my despair, I confronted Lin Weiniying in a public street quarrel, only to be struck by an oncoming truck and sent flying. Now reborn, we tacitly chose to break up, gradually fading from each other's life trajectories. Lin Weiniying suddenly produced a 200,000 yuan check and flung it at my face. Here's 200,000 to buy off that year we spent together in high school. Never appear before me again. She then smiled pityingly. Take the 200,000 and buy some decent clothes. Don't say I didn't cherish our past. I wouldn't want people to claim I had an embarrassing first love. Suddenly, I found this utterly ridiculous. Simply because I dressed plainly, they assumed I was struggling. I returned the check to Lin Weiniying. Thank you, but no. I earn my own living now. Save your concern. If you truly have excess money, donate it to those in need. The next instant brought Lin Weiniying's sneer. Li Hishu, pride can't put food on the table. Everyone can see you're struggling. Why pretend nobility before me? As I opened my mouth to respond, Su Sheng interrupted with a derisive chuckle. Ying, this is improper. How could you put Hishu on the spot with a public check offer? Of course Hishu, as a grown man, would prefer earning through his own efforts. While speaking, Su Sheng produced a business card and handed it to me. Hishu, this has my assistant's number. My studio needs a security guard position that's perfect for you. 7,000 per month, 5 social insurances, and 1 housing fund. These two really are made for each other. I waved my hand in refusal. No need. I have a job and I really like my current work. I don't need your job or your money. I have things to do. Suit yourselves. With that, I grabbed my bag and walked forward. The pair blocked my path like plague gods, clinging like sticky plaster that couldn't be shaken off. Li Hishu, what exactly do you want? Ashing kindly offers you an opportunity and you refuse. Even if it's just security work, with your qualifications, this is already beyond your station. What more do you expect? I think your ambitions are higher than the heavens. Serves you right for never amounting to anything. Their laughable remarks drew an involuntary chuckle from me. Lin Weiniying, are you still hung up on me? I said I have a job now. Must you force your self-righteous help on me? I leaned in close to her face and said slowly, actually, it's you who hasn't been able to forget the past all these years, isn't it? As if I had struck a nerve, she stepped forward and pushed me. What nonsense are you spouting? Me clinging to memories of you? That's ridiculous. How could a country bumpkin like you be worth remembering? Good. I don't want any entanglement with you either. Since there's nothing important, stop blocking the way with your entourage. Lin Weiniying and Su Sheng remained rooted in place. What exactly do you want? Today is He Qin's comeback press conference. We can't let random stray cats and dogs wander in. Seeing things had come to this, I stopped denying it. Yes, I am here to see her. The two burst into laughter as if hearing a joke, while surrounding onlookers covered their smirks. You? What business could you possibly have with He Qin? Going to beg from her? Don't go spreading your bad luck to others. Su Sheng stifled a laugh, crossing his arms as he looked at me. Li Hesh, stop fooling around and go home. Today Queen He isn't just returning to the film industry. She'll also announce her marriage to her mystery husband. Don't embarrass yourself here. I held back my temper and patiently explained. I'm truly here to see her. If you don't believe me, go ask her yourselves. Seeing my seriousness, Lin Weiniying asked with a sour expression. Do you like He Qin? I nodded firmly. Yes, I like her very much. The anticipated mockery came immediately, with some bystanders already stifling giggles behind their hands. Li Hesh, stop daydreaming. He Qin is out of your league. Get back to where you came from. Take a look at yourself. Do you even deserve her? When I realized reasoning was futile, I pulled out my phone to call He Qin. Sharp-eyed Su Sheng snatched it away. Seeing my contact name for He Qin, she burst into derisive laughter. Who would have thought? Hesh, you're actually fangirling as her boyfriend? You even saved her as wife? Whispers were already spreading among the onlookers. Is Li Hishu a Saising fan? He even has He Qin's phone number. That's creepy. I bet he's here to make trouble, because He Qin's announcing her wedding today. He just can't handle it. How pathetic. Lin Weiniying's first love ended up becoming He Qin's stalker. Lin Weiniying's face darkened further. Li Hishu, have you no shame? To think you'd stoop to being He Qin's stalker. This is blatant harassment. You're all insane. What gives you the right to call me a Saising? Give me back my phone. Su Sheng pretended to lose his grip, sending my phone crashing to the floor. The screen shattered. Oops, my bad, Hishu. I'll have my assistant get you a new one later. Fuming, I stood up and shouted at them. Enough. I'll sue you for defamation. You hear me. Blind with rage, I pulled out the camera from my bag. One after another acting like psychos. My current job is a photographer. Don't measure me by your petty standards. Hee-chin invited me here today. Block me again, and you'll face the consequences. But Lin Weiniang's brain seemed kicked by a donkey, still refusing to let me pass. Instead, she looked at me with arrogant superiority. Who'd believe that? No work credentials, dressed like this. Maybe you're Hee-chin's stalker or paparazzi imposter. Putting on an act with that camera. I say you're here to sneak photos. I nearly laughed in fury. So this was how it felt to play music to a cow. Fine, fine. Whatever you say. I'll wait here anyway. Hee-chin will emerge eventually. Can't wait to see how great artist Lin will handle this later. With that, I casually took a seat and fiddled with my camera. Lin Weiniang suddenly snatched my camera when I wasn't looking. Let me check if you've been photographing us. I pointed at the surveillance camera in the corner. Go ahead and look. The surveillance has already captured everything. Who would have thought that the gentlemanly painter and singer on screen act like robbers, so fond of snatching people's belongings? Lin Weiniang panicked, yet her hands kept fiddling with the camera. Stop trying to scare me. I think you're just a thief, crying stop thief. What if you scare actress he when entering? Who'll take responsibility then? After a while, Lin Weiniang exclaimed in shock. Lee Hishu, you really are a Saseing fan. There are so many photos of Hee-chin in here. You've truly sunk to depravity. She pointed at me angrily, speechless, and slammed my camera down on the table. I frantically checked for damage, while Lin Weiniang lunged at me like a mad woman, pounding my chest. Lee Hishu, you truly love every woman you see. Not long after breaking up with me, you became obsessed with Hee-chin. How could you? Su Sheng pulled her away, trying to mediate. All right, Ying. The press conference is about to start, and there are so many reporters watching. When Hee-chin comes out, Li Hesh will get what's coming to him. A moment later, I heard a familiar voice. What's everyone gathered there for? Sorry to keep you waiting, everyone. As the crowd dispersed, Hee-chin caught sight of me sitting in the corner and smiled, slowly walking toward me. Before she could reach me, Su Sheng stepped in front of me and greeted Hee-chin obsequiously. Sister Chin, he's your stalker fan, and he's carrying a camera. We suspect he sneaked in to take photos of you. Hee-chin frowned. Step aside. Lin Weiniang also chimed in with Su Sheng. Aishing is right. This person has ill intentions towards you. I just saw many photos of you in his camera. Hee-chin became intrigued, looking at me and raising an eyebrow. Is that so? Let me see. Hee-chin held the camera, looking at the photos I usually took of her one after another. Su Sheng was still chattering away to smear my reputation. Sister Chin, look for yourself. These are all his creep shots. He even saved your phone number with the note, wife. It's absolutely disgusting. Hee-chin handed the camera back to me, refuting Su Sheng's accusations. Correct, I am indeed his wife. As these words fell, everyone present was petrified on the spot. Su Sheng and Lin Weiniang's expressions became a spectacular display, their faces turning pale then flushed. Lin Weiniang even persisted desperately. Are you joking? Today isn't April Fool's Day. What? Do I need to show you our marriage certificate? Hee-chin swept a glance at Lin Weiniang. You must be Lin Weiniang, my husband's first love. Lin Weiniang nodded numbly. I must really thank you. Thank you for breaking up with my husband, allowing me to pick up such a huge bargain. Hee-chin extended her hand toward me and asked gently, why didn't you come backstage to find me? And why didn't you answer calls? I shook the phone that Su Sheng had smashed and asked bitterly. Today was too rushed. I didn't have time to change into formal attire. Certain people insisted I was your Saseing fan, refused to let me enter, and even smashed my phone. Su Sheng gasped sharply. Neither of us paid him any attention. Hee-chin gracefully linked arms with me and led me to the center of the crowd, announcing, Hello everyone. My husband has been very busy with his photography work lately and didn't have time to change into formal attire. Let me introduce him to you all. This is the man behind me, Lee Hishu. Whispers erupted around us again. Oh my god, this is so awkward. Su Sheng and Lin Weiniang insisted he was a Saseing fan, but he's actually the legal spouse. Those two must be regretting it to death. They've offended the film queen now. Lee Hishu's the real legend. First love was a painter, wife's an award-winning actress. A true life winner. I just looked him up. His photography has won international awards. Can't believe Lin Weiniang dared claim he wasn't living like a proper human. Amidst these jeers and flatteries, I merely smiled, my heart undisturbed by significant fluctuations. Lin Weiniang frowned at me with tearful eyes. Stepping past Hee-chin, she tugged at my sleeve and asked plaintively, Lee Hishu, explain this clearly to me. Are you really married to Hee-chin? I showed off the wedding ring on my ring finger. What do you think? Hee-chin is my one and only wife, the person I wish to spend my life with. Hee-chin then announced to the crowd, my husband Lee Hishu and I will hold our wedding ceremony on the 15th of next month. Ms. Lin, you're welcome to attend." Her expression cycled through disbelief, shock, pallor, before settling into desolate stillness. I chuckled, an inexplicable sense of catharsis rising within me. In my past life, I had orbited around this person day and night. Her every move dictated my heart, and I poured all my energy and love into her. Yet we ended up arguing, resenting, mutually disgusted, to the point where I still hated her with my dying breath. But now, I have a wife who loves me, a career I'm passionate about, a new life, fresh hopes. Everything is so wonderful. Being too happy, I no longer harbor hatred. The past has completely vanished like mist. He-Chin answered a few more media questions. After everything concluded, as we were about to get in the car, Lin Weiniang chased after us. "Li Hashu, wait. I need to talk to you." He-Chin gently squeezed my hand. "Go ahead, say whatever you need to. I'll wait for you in the car." I stood quietly waiting as Lin Weiniang ran up to me. "Please say whatever you need to say all at once." Lin Weiniang paused. "Why did you marry He-Chin? Was it to spite me?" I denied it simply and directly. "It wasn't to provoke you, Lin Weiniang. In our past life, I had grown completely disenchanted with you. I married He-Chin solely because we shared genuine mutual love. There was no need to hide the matter, so I simply told him about how He-Chin and I met and fell in love. My relationship with He-Chin began during a photography shoot. Her agent recognized my photographic talent and added me on social media. Through repeated collaborations, we gradually developed mutual affection. I took the initiative to confess my feelings to her. Both of us being mature individuals, we agreed that neither of us would abandon our careers after marriage. We might allow for temporary compromises, but never permanent sacrifices. No matter how busy we were, we always set aside time each month to meet and date. It was precisely this mutual respect and dedication that brought our hearts closer. Lin Weiniang fell into deep silence. "I should go now? My wife is waiting for me in the car." Lin Weiniang grabbed my arm again. "So you resent me for making you stay home to care for me in our past life?" I gently freed my arm. "There's no blame or resentment. This lifetime is too blissful. I've long forgotten the grievances of our previous existence. Stop living in the past. Aren't you about to marry Su Xing too?" Without another word, I got into the car without looking back. Until the car drove away, I could still see Lin Weiniang standing motionless in the same spot through the rearview mirror. After returning home, I discovered the trending topics had already exploded. He-Chin had posted our marriage certificate, and my photography works were also dug up by netizens. Even surveillance footage of Su Xing knocking my phone out of my hand surfaced. Snobbish eyes picked the wrong target. Li Hashu is the man behind the award-winning actress. Hard to imagine how badly these people would have bullied Li Hashu if he had no connections. My rose-tinted view of Su Xing and Lin Weiniang is shattered. The incident caused a citywide uproar. Overnight, netizens began exposing Su Xing and Lin Weiniang's scandals. Unexpectedly, within just a few days, Su Xing's family background was thoroughly investigated by netizens. His father made headlines after being reported for tax evasion, constructing commercial housing with cheap materials, fabricating data, bribing local officials, and other charges. When I learned about this, I was utterly shocked. Su Xing, once a lofty superstar, now appeared utterly destitute in front of the camera. Not only had all assets under his name been frozen by the court, but he couldn't even return home. His residence was besieged by media reporters, online commentators, and fans. His father, facing multiple criminal charges, would likely never leave prison for the rest of his life. Lin Weiniang fared no better. Rumors swirled that her paintings involved plagiarism and even served as money-laundering tools for the wealthy. But these affairs no longer concerned me. I observed them as idle gossip. Recently, He-Chin and I had been engrossed in wedding preparations. Then one day, Lin Weiniang knocked on my door. Time had etched its mark. She'd grown gaunt, stripped of the glamour she displayed at the previous press conference. I courteously invited her inside. He-Chin tactfully grabbed her purse and headed out, winking at me before leaving. "Honey, I'll wait downstairs." Lin Weiniang's gaze darkened. "Are you going out later?" I nodded without hesitation. "Yes, I'm accompanying He-Chin to her prenatal checkup." Her pupils dilated instantly, leaving her speechless for a moment. "What is it this time? I thought I made myself very clear last time." After a long pause, Lin Weiniang spoke slowly. "Hashu, I've broken up with him." I couldn't help but laugh. "I didn't expect you to kick someone when they're down." Lin Weiniang mustered her courage and continued. "I broke up with Su Xing because I realized I could never forget you. I know I misunderstood you before. It was all my fault. You treated me so well in our past life, yet I still acted that way toward you. Now I understand. I don't regret being with you in that lifetime at all. Hashu, I know I was wrong. Can you forgive me? Let's start over, please. I can even have your child. If you're willing, I'll build a family of 3 with you." I couldn't bear to listen any longer, and cut her off. Lin whinnying, I need you to understand that we ended completely the moment we were reborn. Now I have a new family with a wife and baby. I demand you stop these inappropriate remarks. This constitutes harassment. Do you understand? Lin whinnying shook her head in denial. I don't believe you. Our years of feelings can't just disappear. You must still care. You're just angry and trying to punish me. Please stop this. I've already admitted my mistakes. A cold smile twisted my lips. Can't you understand plain language? Should I spell it out clearer? I don't love you anymore. Never contact me again. I never want to see you. Let me add, those married years with you were the most miserable of my life. I feel nothing for you now. Stop clinging to the past. It's a place I never want to revisit. I opened the door and unceremoniously asked her to leave. Please leave my house, or I'll have to call the property management if you refuse to cooperate. Hee-Chin and I held an intimate wedding, only inviting close friends and relatives without any media presence. Hee-Chin walked slowly towards me in her pure white wedding dress. Her excitement was palpable. We exchanged vows before everyone. At that very moment, Lin whinnying suddenly appeared after long absence, with Su Sheng following closely behind. Hashu, are you really going to marry her? The crowd was stunned by this scene. My face darkened. Lin whinnying, do you truly intend to haunt me like a plague for the rest of your life? She shouted recklessly at me. I won't allow you to marry her. You clearly love me. Why has everything changed? People are all the same in this world. Do you think Hee-Chin genuinely likes you? She's an actress. Acting is her specialty. How could she possibly be interested in an ordinary person like you? Wake up. You two can never be happy together. I'm the one who's truly right for you. Hearing these tiresome words, I directly called security to drive her out. She hasn't changed at all, just like in her previous life. When doing well, she looks down on those beneath her. When faring poorly, she envies those above her, even trying to drag others into the abyss. Such people forever dwell in regret, never knowing contentment. Su Sheng helped block the security guards and embraced her, patiently coaxing. Stop making a scene, whinnying. Li Hesh doesn't love you anymore. Lin whinnying viciously stomped on his foot and spat at him. Get lost. It's all your fault. You're why Hesh and I ended up like this. Lin whinnying charged toward me again, her tone frenzied. Hesh, it was Su Sheng who seduced me back then. I had no choice. Please give me another chance, okay? I'll definitely be a good wife this time. Su Sheng finally lost his temper and stopped indulging Lin whinnying. Me seduce you? Lin whinnying, you've got some nerve. Who was it that messaged me late at night saying they felt empty and unsatisfied? Who sent me indecent photos? These were all things you did to me. Every single detail, none of which were falsely accused. Hishu treated you with unwavering devotion, yet you threw away a good life to seduce others. Now that he's living his best days, you come here to cause a scene? What do you pretend? Ding for? Lin whinnying screamed furiously, disregarding that this was my wedding venue, and lunged at Su Sheng with claws bared. The two immediately began grappling. The once celebrated fairy tale couple of the entertainment industry now brawled publicly. Under normal circumstances, I'd have enjoyed the spectacle, but this was my wedding. Security guards dragged them out while they were distracted. The wedding proceeded as planned. Afterward, I was told both had been sent to the police station for administrative detention. Lin whinnying had scratched Su Sheng's face, while Lin herself sustained injuries. A few more days passed. Lin whinnying's mother came to find me. She said Lin whinnying had attempted suicide and was now lying in the hospital begging for death. She'd slit her wrists in a bathtub and was found in severe coma. The hospital struggled all night to save her life. Even while hovering between life and death, she kept murmuring my name. Mrs. Lin nearly knelt to beg me. Hashu, I'm begging you to save my daughter. A child's faults stem from parental failures. It's all my fault for not raising her well. For the sake of all those years between you two, please go see her. I'm on my knees begging you. I refused without hesitation. Auntie, Lin whinnying and I are already history. If she insists on clinging to the past, that's her choice. There's nothing I can do about this. Hee-Chin, taking pity on Mrs. Lin, also urged me. Go, Hashu. Everything needs proper closure. Talk it through with her properly. Consider it accumulating good karma for yourself and your child. With a sigh, I finally went to the hospital. Lin whinnying had lost a lot of weight, her face haggard and devoid of color, with thick bandages wrapped around her wrist. When she saw me, a flicker of emotion finally surfaced on her distraught face. I walked over and stopped her from struggling to sit up. Hashu, when will you be discharged? Seeing my proactive concern, a flash of joy crossed her face. Next week. Hashu, does this mean you're willing to forgive me? I swear I'll treat you well from now on. I'll support your career, be a good wife and mother. She rambled on with endless promises, grating on my nerves. I waved my hand and cut her off directly. You seem fine. Since there's nothing urgent, I'll leave now. Watching her expression shift from anticipation to agony, I felt an inexplicable satisfaction. She reached out to gently tug at me, pleading through tears. Please, Hishu. I truly can't live without you. Don't leave me. I gently brushed off his hand. There's no need, Lin whinnying. I only came today out of pity for what your parents have done. I never intended to entangle with you again. Since nothing's wrong, let's part ways here. Focus on recovering. I'm leaving. Seeing my unwavering resolve, Lin Wan-ing rolled off the bed and knelt before me, clutching my pant leg desperately. The four-stand toppled over in the struggle, tearing her wound open. In an instant, pristine white bandages were stained crimson. A pitiful, brutal sight. When had Lin whinnying, heaven's favored daughter, ever looked so wretched? Born into wealth, blessed with beauty, and achieving fame in her youth. Yet here she knelt before me in utter disgrace, begging. Perhaps I should feel moved. But I didn't. Looking down coldly, I couldn't even bring myself to help her up. Enough. I never want to see you again after this. Consider this the last time. My frostiness pierced Lin whinnying like daggers. She broke down and shouted at me. It was Su Sheng who pursued me. It's all her fault. Why must you keep fixating on this? Why won't you forgive me? Her commotion caught the attention of Mrs. Lin outside the door. The scene descended into chaos when she witnessed what was happening. After finally settling Lin whinnying, Mrs. Lin began pleading with me. Hishu, I shouldn't have the nerve to ask this, but look at her. She's already paid her dues. Please forgive her. Honestly, you two were so close before. You and whinnying once loved each other. Why can't you give her another chance? No need, Auntie. I'm already married, and being with her, I fear the one lying in a hospital bed would be me. I left without looking back. Not long after, while accompanying He-chin for a prenatal checkup, I ran into Lin whinnying again at the hospital. Lin whinnying's face looked as dreadful as if she had crawled out of a coffin. Still clinging to hope, she declared she would pursue me again, win me back, and make amends. Humph. Lin whinnying's vows were utterly fragile. I didn't take them to heart. Let's act as strangers if we meet again. I'll pretend I never knew you. I said calmly. You know, I'm doing very well now. My child will be born soon. All I want is to nurture my small, peaceful life. My tone remained steady and unhurried. In that moment, I saw Lin whinnying's face darken, like a dying bird, lifeless, her smile bitter and self-mocking. I always knew you'd never forgive me. I cut off her self-pity. Not long after, news arrived. Lin whinnying had died by suicide. My heart was completely unmoved. Why bother? It was all her own choice. I gazed out the window. The sun